Hello.
Hello, hello. Um, what a week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been crazy. So yeah, updates last. Um, since last we spoke, Dalton and Maeve are both in the game, and they had the say in where to put everyone in the glitch in the mainframe, and the house guests had to deal with that. And everyone dealt with it in a variety of different ways. Um, for me, it really enlightened who is in the know about the game and who is on the outs in the game, because truly this was a very easily navigable twist and vote if you knew where the votes lie, and it was very clear who knew what was happening and how to deal with it, who knew what was happening and didn't know how to deal with it, and then who just was clean, had no idea what was happening.
Correct. Should we get to it?
Cool. Let's do it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Aaron, do you want to start with Aaron, Stephen, or do you want me to start with Aaron?
You can start. I'm working on something right now.
Aaron. Okay, I moved my score down to a 6 last week because I felt like Aaron was becoming less of a priority for people as the numbers dwindled. While that hasn't necessarily changed, like I think the people that he's been losing priority with, he is still losing priority with. That being said, I think he is starting to pick up other people and start to maybe get one step ahead of the people that he's losing out on. For example, he got on call with Dalton and told him about the shenanigans of Simona and Logan. I think their spots are being blown up just a little bit. So I think Aaron is taking steps ahead, whereas other people I feel like are not. So that's a huge kudos that I have for him. Also, he was the one, in my opinion, to really, or at least in the text in the chat, he was the one to really math out like, okay, if you do this and you do this and I do this and you do this, then this will happen and these people will be in second, but this person should be the one to go. But even if they're not, we have other options, yada yada yada. So I think he played a very good game this week. I think he set himself up in a much in a good position. Um, but I'll be interested to see his path forward because I don't think right now, if the game continues just down the path that it's on, it's going to stay as the longest alliance to ever form, just like running it, even though they aren't talking and actually running anything. It's just like those are the people that are choosing to stick by each other. And I think if there is going to be anyone to like step up and maybe push for a move or sit by and let a move happen, it will be Aaron. So I just think he needs to make it to a point where he can make that switch officially. So I'm feeling good. I'm gonna move back up to my 7. Um, I am impressed.
Yeah, and I'm saying on my 7. I feel like Aaron is someone who I think you're exactly right on what you said. But I think I'm gonna stick by what I've been saying for a while is that Aaron is gonna be the one to be a sneaky pick at the end, I think. Aaron is playing smart, and I think Aaron's gonna continue to play smart. So I'm staying at my 7. Which gives Aaron a 7, which is look at that. Okay. Dalton.
Dalton. Um, I am. Oh my god! Shut up, everyone! Dear God, my phone cannot take the messages. Okay. Um, Dalton is someone that is insane with how well he's doing in the game right now. Um, he should have gone home week 1. He really should have gone home week 1 and started out at like what, like a 3 from me or something. And I feel like every single week
4.
since then
Yeah, 3.
has gone up a peg, and it's no different this week. I was at a 6 last week, and I'm raising my score to a 7 for a number of reasons. I think that Dalton has made the transition into the game as himself nearly flawlessly,
Mhm.
whereas it could have been a mess. I think he played up like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was just having a good time being Mira, but like everything that I said to you in the game is super true. And I think and we'll talk about the differences between him and Maeve. He came into the game and he really fortified the bonds that he had made before and been now, now you know I'm here for real and I'm telling you this for real because I actually am with you and now I can actually do that. And I think people actually trust him more
Mhm.
than they ever trusted Mira. Um, which is crazy because they shouldn't. um, so he's in a great position. A little side note, but like this is absolutely this week. Dalton and Maeve organized that grid flawlessly
Mhm.
for what they wanted to have happen. And that's just another thing. Like they're both so, so smart. So kudos to Dalton there. 7 from me.
Yeah, I'm also going up to a 7. I think that Dalton is a completely different person than Mira is. I think Mira was playing a uh an untrustworthy game, but it seems like he's really gotten people back on his side and has made that transition really flawlessly. And I think that um, he and Maeve did really well with the grid this week and ensuring that what they wanted to have happen actually happened. So 7 for Dalton. Great job, Dalton. Kate. In a second. Kate.
Kate. Yeah.
Hey.
So here's I'll start with the good. I'll start with the good. Um, Consistently through all this week, through all these weeks, it's been no secret that Kate has been on the bottom. And when I say been no secret, I mean that it's no secret to us. Maybe it is to Kate, but um, she's been on the bottom. She's been on the outs. That being said, there really hasn't been a ton of we want to target Kate. It's like we want to target like all of Kate's allies, but
Mhm.
like no one said they want to target Kate. So I'm like, ooh, interesting. So there's that to note. Even on this mainframe, there was equal based off of their positioning, there really was equal opportunity to get out Kate or Nicole, and everyone really unanimously and easily chose Nicole. And I think that is because Kate just is a more social player than Nicole was, and I think we'll be able to make more inroads, so that's good. Um, her position is worse now that Nicole isn't here from a numbers perspective, but maybe socially is better because Nicole isn't here and she's no longer tied to that duo. I don't. Whereas before, I think there was a really good chance that if people couldn't take out Nicole, they would have taken the shot at Kate. Now I don't really see a huge reason for people to take the shot at Kate specifically per se,
Mhm.
but she's still not on the in. And if something doesn't shake up soon, she's got limited time. So I've been at a 4 for a while. I feel like that's where she is
Mhm.
kind of sitting. I am certainly not raising my score, but I
No.
don't feel a huge need to dip down. So I'm just going to stay at a 4 again.
Once again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm staying at my 4. I think obviously Kate losing Nicole was not very good for her, and it was actually really bad for her. But I do agree with you in that while she's not an active target right now, I think that she is kind of a sitting duck. If people need someone to take out, she's probably not going to be here for much longer. But we'll see. I would really like to see somehow that turnaround. I really, really wish we saw her as HOH this week. I thought that could have been really interesting to see
It would
if
have been
that happened.
so good. It would have been so good for her game.
Yeah.
The main thing I worry about Kate, and this is at least comparing Aaron and Kate, let's say. Their positions certainly are different. Aaron is in a much better position. But in terms of they're both players that I could see making it to a point where the game shifts and needing to be a part of that shift. I see Aaron being someone that would drive a shift, whereas Kate would be someone that could be picked up and maybe carried along in a shift as a number. But I don't see Kate ever being the one to propose and come up with a new alliance to make this move against the people that she you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think it's going to be tough for her to make it to the end and win.
Yeah. Let's also like move slightly faster. Logan is up next. Logan had sevens from us.
Yeah, Logan is always the one that confuses me most. Um, because it's like I don't even know. I don't even know how to put it into words. I like he's good. He's good. My confusion isn't that like, oh, is he not doing like no, he's doing very well. I just my biggest thing is like again, like at least talking about the people that we just talked about, where I see Aaron maybe eventually making a move, or I see Kate being swept up into something, or I see like Dalton, like Logan, someone that like is doing really well at just like existing well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to put it otherwise. Um, he's got good bonds with people. I don't think he's someone that people like are talking about targeting, especially now that Nicole is gone.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of good things. Um,
Yeah, I kind of disagree with you. I think that I disagree with you saying that you don't see him making a move later when down the line. I understand where it's coming from, but I don't necessarily agree with you.
it's not that I don't see him making a move, because like I don't think he could. I see him being a very strategic player that could come up with a move, but I'm just trying to think like I don't know. I just feel like Logan's game right now is very much he's playing the perfect floater game in my opinion. And again, let's not get this mixed up. Floater is a fantastic thing. Coaster is a horrible thing. Um,
Yeah. So
and Logan is playing the perfect floater game. I don't think that like necessarily making the move like a move is like great for him, but like if it's not great for him, then like I just think he need yeah. It's a tricky precarious
yeah,
position, but it's a good one. I'm
I'm
just
staying at my
confused, but
seven.
in a good way.
I'm staying at my seven.
Wonderful. I actually wrong color. I actually am moving up to an 8.
Yeah, I don't feel that good about him yet, but I understand and respect where that's coming from.
And that is really because of the reason that Nicole went home. Nicole was the main person that would have been coming for Logan, and
Mhm.
now I think there isn't anyone, maybe with the exception of Kate, that would target Logan as like a pawn. And then if you're trying to make a move against someone, I feel like there are bigger people to make a move against than Logan. So I think he really is in, and like that, like it's just so tricky. He
Mhm.
is in the perfect like
Yes.
mid position for everything.
Yeah. Okay, Maeve. I mean, I think at least from what I've seen, I think I was wrong in the fact that I honestly think Dalton made the transition better than Maeve has. And I think that is big and largely in part due to the fact that she is in a different continent right now. Um, but yeah, you want to keep going? I think the Maeve
Yeah.
was definitely her like obviously half of her doing so.
Um. At least starting the week, Maeve made the grid perfectly. I think she set it up with Dalton to make the exact move that she wanted, which was great. But yeah, I think it is exactly what you said. I think Dalton made the transition better, and I agree with what you said in terms of it being Maeve, on the other side of the world. Um, but that being said, I think it is very much a thing of like where I said Dalton came into the game and fortified and solidified the bonds that he had made and said, "Yes, I am with you for all these reasons." Maeve kind of came in and was like, she didn't say this, but like it almost gave off like, oh my gosh, like I was just talking to y'all to get to this point of the game. Great. Now we're here. You know what I mean? Like she hasn't like solidified or kept up any of the bonds that she kept up in the first part of the game. And it's because she can't be as active right now because
Mhm.
she's on vacation. But like I don't know if it's coming off that way. I think she took a
Oh
major
wait,
back seat this week.
you should change. Oh, I'll do it later. Um,
Huh?
nothing. I'm going down to a 7 for Maeve this week.
Um, yeah, I'm in another tricky position. Um, I'm also gonna lower to a 7.
Actually, lots of sevens.
I was debating a 6 though.
Interesting. Um, cool. Makai.
No, I'm gonna go with the 6.
Okay.
Um, I feel like she's lost a lot of her middle position. I don't think she's as vocal in NDA. Um, yeah, I just think yeah, but still good. But 6.
Cool. Makai.
Mackay. Um, yeah. So like he's the key example of like literally not a single soul for like the last like 3 weeks even has like told him anything that's going on.
Mhm.
Teddy went home and then Nosha went home and oh I see yes. Um, and then in this week he had absolutely no idea what was going to be happening. He was essentially just told, "You want to vote this way?" And he was like, "Yeah, I could do that." They're like, "Great, thanks, Mackay." Um, so that I think he is the person that is most on the outs and is the most likely person to go home next week. Um, just based on the trajectory of the game, and it seems like the people on the outs are the ones going home, not necessarily we're making the moves yet.
Mhm.
So I don't feel good at all. Um, I was at a 3. Low key, I could go down to a 2. I could easily justify it, but
I'm gonna stay at my 3.
um, yeah, no, I'm gonna go down to a 2. I don't know. He just like he literally, I feel like didn't talk to anyone
Mhm.
and is just not in a good
I mean,
spot.
something fair. Nicole.
Girl,
Nicole.
um, I'm not gonna say that this was easily avoidable because the grid was set up for you to fail and to go home. But that being said, you had literally all of the information to at least tie the vote.
Mhm.
And at that point, you're tied against Sophia. And I think you have a good fighting shot against Sophia. Because I think against Sophia, you've got Will's vote, you've got Kate's vote, you've got Simona vote. You probably could get Maeve's. That's already 4 out of, well, or granted, Maeve wasn't voting, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you had enough of a give to get
Yeah.
people. Like literally, like she counted out the votes. They had it right there in front of them, and then it was like out of spite, voted for Logan and Sean because like she heard that she was getting votes, and therefore like, oh, so we should pile them on a Logan. But you already know that Sophia has 3, and you would be the 4th. I don't know. All of the information was there. She tried, just wasn't a good try. So I'm gonna be at a 2 for Nicole. You only get ones from me if like literally I'm like, what the hell was that? Where are you? And we got enough of an effort from me to justify a 2 here. So
Yeah, I'm going down to a 2 as well. Or was I at a 2? I don't remember. But
I was at the 2. I'm saying at
but
the
I'm going
2.
down to a 2. Can you hear that?
Hear what?
Um, I'm gonna go with a 2. I agree with you. She could have tied the vote. I think she still would have gone home anyway, but Nicole, I love you. What did you do?
The answer is not enough.
Bad things. 2.
She got told that no one was talking to you, and you got angry about that instead of being like, oh yeah, I don't talk to people.
Yeah. Okay, Sean.
Um, I don't have many new things to say about Sean. I think he's in nearly the exact same position that he was in last week. Definitely not any worse. No one was talking about getting the votes on Sean, so I'm certainly not lowering my score. Um, I do think he's got a good, solid group of allies around him. Um, and I think now that the numbers are dwindling, whereas like before I saw like Logan like maybe turning to Teddy and Osha over Sean, or I see like Aaron turning to Sophia over Sean. Like I think those little side pieces are slowly going to be picked off here, and I think Sean is going to be left as someone that's like more key. Um, on top of that, he made the right move this week. I think he like made deals with people to get votes off of him and threw votes on the right people. His alliance made that work. I'm feeling pretty good about Sean. And really, I'm just debating: do I stay at my 5 or do I move up to a 6? Um, and you know what? I'm feeling good, so I'm going to move
This is so
up
funny.
to a
I was
6.
gonna do the exact same thing. I think
That's
that
so exciting.
I think that Sean, yes, he is not running the show, but you're right. He did not have any talk about him for votes this week. And he knows what he's doing. I know he knows what he's doing. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go blah blah blah. He knows that if he lets Simona keep taking everything and she gets taken at the end, that he's gonna have the the argument to say that he was there too and was helping with those moves. So I'm feeling good about Sean. I'm going with 6.
Yeah, and like the other thing is Sean has a great read on where he's at in the game.
Correct.
He knows he's not the most social, but he knows the allies that he has. And it's a lot easier to play if you know where you're at versus when you don't and you're delusional.
Mhm.
So kudos.
Simona,
Okay. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
it sounds like you have something to say,
I
but I beg, can we say it fast? Or
I am continuously very impressed by Simona. I'm going to start with the bad first because the only bad thing is Erin did blow up her spot a little bit, and it wasn't just Simona; it was Simona and Logan.
Mhm.
And I think that people may be beginning to realize Simona's in a lot.
Mhm.
I think people are not considering taking the shot. Like, I think you need to take the shot like pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
Because if you let her pick up more steam, for example, like, I don't know, winning another HOH or more comps, she's going to be, in my opinion, is the one to watch out for in the end with these ending comps. She is
Yeah, for sure.
prepared. She is asking questions. And as soon as you let her get to the final 7 and 6, she could easily win out, and you're not going to have a chance because all she needs is to either win the comps or have like one or two people by her side. Um, with this cast, I feel like Simona has too much of a chokehold on the game to make an uprise happen. I think if an uprise were to happen, it would need to come from people like Maeve and Dalton, and Maeve is kind of incapacitated right now to make a move. Um, and I'm wondering if Dalton would be able to rally the troops, and if Simone is even the move that he wants to make. I don't think it is.
Mhm.
So yes, I do understand intellectually that people are picking up onto where Simona is at, but I'm gonna be real. I think Simona's placement and chokehold on the game strategically is higher than people realizing it. And I don't see right now the path for anyone to do anything about it if they don't start doing it soon, which no one is doing.
Mhm.
So I was at an 8 last week. Call me crazy. I understand that this could be like a bit of a risk and it could all come crashing down, and great, then my score will come crashing down with it. But right now, I see no reason why she should not be at a 9, and that is why my score is going there.
Interesting. I'm only going up to an 8. I do agree that this Matrix, she really knew what was going on, and she made sure that what she wanted to happen was going to be the thing that was going on.
This girl sent in a map of it and drew arrows as to where everyone was voting. And do you know what she got right? Everything.
Mhm.
And this was hours before the eviction.
I don't think I worry a little bit for a 9, but I think that she's doing very well right now, and we're gonna see what else she does. So 8.5 for her, aka the highest
Sophia.
score so far.
Yes. Oh, getting a bump. Oh, look at that. Um, Sophia.
Yeah.
Um, Sophia is, I think, going to face a bit of trouble here very, very shortly. It's again, no secret she's on the outs. She's been on the outs for a while. It's no secret that people like her, which is great. Good for her. Um, but when you have people like Simona in charge of the game, and Simona's game is going to be slowly picking off the person on the outside so that the people on the inside don't realize that it's happening until they're already gone. People like Sophia need to worry. In this grid, the fact that she was the backup name, I think, wasn't good for her. I think no one, the fact that even Aaron was like, yeah, Sophia can be the backup name is like, oh God, no one really is like needing her to stick around or is
Yeah.
fighting for her to stick around. Um, so that I think being a really likable person is only going to get you like a little bit further in this game. Especially now that Nicole is gone, I think she's right at the bottom of the barrel, unfortunately. So I will be lowering my score to a 3. I say that
Mhm.
as if that's not like bad, but
I'm
it's going to
also
be a
going to a
3 for me.
3.
Yeah.
Sophia, it's not looking good. I love you. It's not looking good. So sad. Okay. Will.
Will, um, this wasn't a good week for him. He was another one that I feel like knew where everything should have been going, and like there was a clear answer to like stop it from happening.
Hmm.
And like after it happened, he was like, "Oh my god, if only we just did this." And it's like, "Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit, Will." Um, he's not someone that's in the worst position. I am very impressed with like his capabilities, but like he's another one that's kind of like sitting weirdly in the middle where like he's not quite on the outs, but he's not quite on the in, and he's making good moves, but also isn't using, I think, the full information that he has. Um, I see Maeve and Sean, the people I have at sixes, in better positions than him. And although I do think his game capability is probably a little bit higher than a 5, I just think that based off of where things are right now, and like combined with his threat level to people, I think I'm gonna go to a 5.
Yeah, actually, I was at a 7. I think that's where I'm headed to. I think the Matrix really changed things for him. Um, and that's where I'm going down to as well, especially looking forward to, who is still left in the game and who is aligned with who and who he is aligned with. So 5 from me as well. And that's the
That's
end.
our speed recap. Simona's at the top. She's been there for a while alongside with Maeve, and Maeve has trickled down. Simona's just got a chokehold on the game. She is running it, and people need to do something about it soon if they want any shot to win. Logan's right behind her. I think that's fair. I feel like Logan is the number 2 to Simona, in terms of strategy and like knowledge in the game. And right behind that is Dalton and Aaron. And like that's fair. I feel like Dalton is gonna be one to watch. He's another one that people don't take out soon. I think could be the one to usurp Simona. So it'll be really interesting. At the bottom, Nicole. She went home. Nothing really more to say. Makai didn't know where was going on with the votes. And Sophia was the decoy name. Sophia and Makai. Makai is my guess as to who's going to go home next week. But I think it could be Makai. I think it could be Sophia. Um, I would be surprised if it wasn't one of the two of them.
Correct. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. See you eventually.